From ClarkWoods.com, this is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 107. I'm Chris.
And I'm Steve. And as Chris mentioned, this is episode 107.
107.
It means nothing.
It means absolutely zilch.
I'm bringing it up again just to put us into a weird conversation, or not, a weird situation right at the start of the show.
Right at the start of the show.
Because I'm good like that.
You're good like that. Should we stop numbering them? I mean, should we stop saying the number?
No, I think we could say the number so people know what they're listening to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the number somehow indicates what they're listening to? Explain this to me.
No, not what they're listening to, but what number they're listening to. So like if someone was like just starting to listen,
yeah,
then they could be like, because we have the entire catalog up on iTunes, so it's not like it's unreasonable for people to go find episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
I should say it might be unreasonable. So this is a thing, and I've yet to figure out a way around it. And the thing is that Squarespace, and this is in case anybody is out there who is like looking for number 1 and they can't find it. I just want to explain to you what's going on. Squarespace, and I found this out by listening to the Accidental Tech podcast, or maybe I wasn't even listening to it at that point, but I think they were the ones to discover it because they host their podcast on Squarespace. That Squarespace, by default, their RSS feed, which is the thing that powers the iTunes feed or powers however you're getting the podcast, if you're subscribed to it somewhere, that Squarespace limits that to 100 entries.
Oh.
So once you cross over that 100 threshold, the older episodes drop out. Now, some of the more famous or not famous, but well-known podcasts, well-downloaded podcasts have somehow found a way around this. I don't know exactly what they did, but it may be hard unless you go to the actual web page itself to
listen to some of our older episodes.
To some of the older episodes.
Well, crap. Well, shit.
Well,
never mind.
Yes.
Should never have brought it up.
I should never have brought it up. Well, no. I mean, you know, somebody's sitting there. They're going on.
Well, they can listen to episode 6.
They're going on a camping trip like I'm about to do tomorrow, and they want to load up the entire catalog. I don't want them to be disappointed when they find out that there isn't 107 hours to keep them company over their really boring ass trip into the wilderness.
Well, we were still figuring things out, and we were using one mic at the time.
We were using one mic.
But like some of our older episodes are some of our classics, and people really like those ones. So.
Yes. So I mean, you know, you think it's an issue for us, but my old show, this Not Generation Goat, which I did with John Martin, but my old show called the Fivecast has 300 and something episodes, and you can't get most of those through the RSS feed.
Holy shit. Well, you're gonna have to talk to I think there's a way we could provide them to people that are new listeners, right?
Well, I mean, they can go.
They go to the website, so it's not
to the
like
website. Yeah.
All right, so never mind. They don't need to fucking listening on iTunes. They can listen at work at their desk.
Yes.
Unless your work is one of those shithead things that won't let you stream something because it causes too much bandwidth or whatever the fuck
aggravation.
It's just like, we can't have all this internet being used.
That was a big thing earlier in, well, not this decade, but like the previous decade. I feel like once bandwidth got to a certain point, at my first couple of jobs, there were sites that were banned. There were things that you weren't allowed to go to.
Where I work right now, there are still sites that, I mean, understandable ones like pornography.
Pornography.com
or whatever. I mean, I haven't tested that. I haven't tested that theory, but I'm assuming that anything that has to do with pornography is off limits. But but there's like things you can't go to like a radio station website because there's a possibility that you might be able to stream the fucking radio station.
Yeah, and they got to pay for the bandwidth.
Oh, fucking hell.
That was one of the. I mean,
you need to talk to your internet service provider at that point and say, How did we get to this point? Can we just have like the internet, please?
It would be nice. It would be
like
nice
for one flat rate instead of like.
It will be nice, I assume, at some point when the internet is just a dumb pipe and we're not paying for. I mean, that's what net neutrality is about, and there have been victories on the side of net neutrality. But the other part of it is just like let it be an absolutely dumb pipe that's just like water, and it just just flows to whoever in whatever amount they need, except if you live in the town of Chelmsford where they stop you from using outside water halfway through the summer.
Well, it's
I mean, so yes, I'm saying that because it's
we're I mean, aside from the last 2 days, it's been pretty much a drought.
Yes,
in the Northeast.
It has, and every time we're supposed to get rain, it seems like it doesn't arrive.
Well, yesterday we went to a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
It was a couple of Becky's friends.
Yes,
getting married. I don't know if I don't know. I won't mention who they are because I don't know if they want to be sort of public figures, but I'll say it was a very nice wedding.
It was a very nice wedding. That's all you need to say. That's what they want to hear if they happen to tune in. They want to hear it was a nice wedding.
Yeah, we had a good time, but because we're, older and more responsible, I suppose, we decided, because it wasn't far from here, so we decided to take an Uber there and
Uber.
to and fro. The two was easy.
All fancy. No cabs for you.
Well, I don't know. It's just easier to get
Actually, I don't
Uber
know.
to show up.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll talk about that later. But
okay.
But so we were standing outside. We ordered the car, and then it was David. Was the driver.
Okay.
He was a nice guy, and he was good conversation on the way there, and it was. The moment we got into the car, it started fucking pouring.
Oh, no fun.
Well, it was fun for the fact that we were in a car and not standing on the side of the street waiting for the Uber to show up while we get fucking soaked.
That is fun.
We had very good timing there. And then I kept on doing like Judd Hirsch from Independence Day. We never would have gotten to the wedding if it wasn't for my David.
Did you see the second one of that?
Yes.
Okay, I did not. I was it any good?
It was not, but it was. But like, if you
did
think,
he say we wouldn't have a world today if it
it wasn't. He didn't go. He definitely was over the top Jewish guy again. But the simple fact that he was in it, like his storyline. Watch the Half in the Bag for the new Independence Day, and then just get like. If you don't actually watch the movie, just watch
just
that.
Watch the Half in the Bag.
Yeah, because Jesus Christ, like they go into his little fucking boat storyline for.
Oh yeah, I've seen in the trailer he's on a boat. I'm on a boat.
But then he finds. I don't know. I'm spoiling things. Tune into Time Code a couple of minutes from now if you don't want to get spoiled for some shitty blockbuster movie that you probably won't give a shit about seeing. But he like runs into these kids, and then he's driving a school bus.
He runs into them with
not
boat?
with the boat, but like some kids find him, and then they all travel together.
I'm glad he doesn't, because
they all end up together in the end somehow. Fucking.
I'm glad he didn't run him over, because Judd Hirsch does not. He does not run over people with a boat. Like Batman doesn't shoot people. It's very important.
Okay. So we go there, but the thing, we were being responsible because it was an open bar at the wedding, so we were like probably gonna get hammered.
Yes,
which we did, and we're recording this very later in the day. We usually record like at an earlier hour, sometimes 11, sometimes 2 in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. It is very close. It is past 7 now.
It's past your bedtime.
It's not past my bedtime. But I did sleep for a good maybe 2-3 hours this afternoon, which is something I'm not like. Yeah. I've never been good at napping, but
right.
Because it turns into sleep. But
it turns into sleep pretty fast.
It would have even more so if Becky hadn't come in and say, are you gonna get up ever? Because I was a little. So she was napping on the couch while I was napping in the bed.
Okay.
And she read a little bit.
Oh, okay. I was just of a book.
But yeah, so we got there. We had I had a lot of fucking drinks. Talked about the podcast with some people, which is good. You know, and then because I had met we were doing there was like these little patches we could draw and write things on for and someone was going to sew them together for a quilt or something like that.
That's a nice.
And I'm like, that's a nice little thing. So I drew a little chopper from One Piece. And then I was mentioning one of the people that was standing near us was like, "Ooh, is that Chopper?" And I was like, "Yes, that is." And she's like, "Oh, we like One Piece too." And I'm like, "Well, you'll love our podcast and the drinking game that's involved with it. Whenever I mention fucking One Piece, you're supposed to drink."
I'm supposed to drink. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm curious. Was there an Uber driver on the way home, and was that also David?
No, it was not David. I wish it was David. Okay. He would have.
All right, that's getting too ahead of myself.
No. I mean, like, there was the open bar, and then there was like, I don't drink wine ever, but like they're coming around with
missing out.
You want red or white, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'll have white because I don't typically care for red wine at all. If I have a choice of the two, I'll pick a white wine typically. But I drank a lot of that wine, and then I had like wine. I was drinking vodka tonics, and I was drinking beers.
Wine.
No, that's no.
That's how it goes.
And I was just drinking a lot of different things, and I had some steak, and I had some pasta thing. I don't think I had a slice of cake.
Oh no.
That completely passed me by.
I don't think it's really a wedding if you don't have a slice of cake.
Well, I guess they didn't get married.
They didn't get married.
Because one of their wedding guests.
It's one of those things. It's like it's in the fine print on the marriage contract. It says you must serve cake and make sure every person in the hall eats the cake, or you're not married. I mean, nobody reads that part, but that's in there.
It was so fucking hot last night.
Was it hot in the venue?
Yes.
Oh, geez, that's not fun.
And I because we sat through the ceremony wasn't long. It was cute, and but it was so fucking hot, and like I was like, I had my blazer on. It's right sitting on the chair next to you.
That's a nice fine blazer.
Yeah,
not a blue blazer.
No, it's black.
Rest in peace, Owen Hart.
Oh. But yeah, so by the time the ceremony was over, I was drenched.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I got to leave it on. I can't take it off. And everybody's like, just take it off. And I'm like, no. Like when I went into the bathroom, I did and I slipped it off for a little bit to see, how bad the sweat was. And it was my entire shirt. Oh. Like I was just.
Well, that's better than just your armpits or just around the belly.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm covering this up. It's whatever. So. I finally took it off when we were on our way home, or on our way to the Uber. But it was like it was in a secluded little area, and like the directions for some people were taking them to the middle of Route 95.
Oh, that's fun.
And it's like, no, this isn't where it is. But it was really close to the highway or something. Like, fucking people couldn't. And then so we were ready to go. We ordered our car, and then we were walking outside, and then they fucking turned around and left
the Uber did.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're like, fuck you. And I don't remember the name of that person. But then we waited we walked a little bit up the road.
Right.
And then we ordered another one, and she eventually arrived and took us to the home.
Now with an Uber,
I don't remember. I remember stepping into the apartment, completely ripping off all of my clothes. Well, not all of them. I think I was in MeUndies.
Yeah.
That is not a plug for MeUndies. If you guys want to advertise with us, let us know. Then I just went into the bedroom. I guess I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. Like I remember
the
when
entire. You're drunk, you don't really remember anything.
No. I remember most of the evening. I remember the car ride home. I just don't remember like going to bed.
Yeah.
And because apparently Becky stayed up like an hour after me because she didn't feel like going to bed yet.
Okay.
But I was like out, and like apparently she had to like move me. Like I was in the middle of the bed, like of course, just like. Bleh.
My question about the Uber, because I've never ordered one, and I've only been in a cab a handful of times in my life. So with an Uber, does the app share your precise location with them, or do you like tap in and tell the driver where you are?
I think it uses your phone's GPS to tell them where you are.
Okay, and then I wonder if on their end, if like they're driving, do they have like an Uber driving app, or are they just using whatever GPS?
I think
is on their
phone? the app they use I think is Waze.
Okay, got it.
Which is I guess a good one.
That's the one that I used prior to there being a GPS function on the iPhone. So I forget what phone that was introduced on. No, wait. Or prior to the maps being really good, or some goddamn thing. I used Waze for a little while, and yes, it was good.
I guess they have different people and whatnot that do the directions.
Yeah.
Apparently, like David was talking about, he had Arnold Schwarzenegger for a while, but then they had like this woman. He had this woman singing.
Okay, singing the direction.
Singing. She'd be like, turn left and then turn right or something like that. It was pretty funny.
Mind the gap.
Like,
no, that's a fucking Subway thing. Sorry.
But it was like sort of like a single lady sort of.
All the single ladies?
No, but like the kind of. I'm trying to. It's not really a genre, but like a sort of indie one woman band.
Okay, yeah.
Like playing a guitar and singing. That was the kind of vibe I was getting from the sing-songy directions.
From the sing-songy, okay. Yeah, like an acoustic guitar and yeah.
Yeah.
Like KT Tunstall.
Sure.
She was... Oh my God. Why I remember the stupid shit that I remember. KT Tunstall was like a big hit on the Today Show back when she first came out, because she had this single out, or maybe the single wasn't the song wasn't even out yet, but she showed up and she had an acoustic guitar and a delay pedal that would somehow repeat the sound. And like a kick drum or whatever, and so like she would like sing one part of the song, and the delay would just keep would repeat it. She would go, clap, and that would get repeated, and then she'd play the song, and they were just mesmerized because it was just the one.
Yeah, I've seen that at a coffee shop before, so it's not like something that people have never done before.
No. In fact, back in
Reggie Watts, like he's pretty much known for that. He if you ever watched or listened to Comedy Bang Bang podcast and or show on I think IFC.
Okay,
he's a comedian, but he also does music, so it's like he usually kind of does improv-y songs. Yeah. But like there's one that he was sort of famous for. It was called like Shit Fuck Stack.
Well, back in 1996.
Oh, okay. So this was 96.
No, not Tunstall was mid 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, still,
so she was definitely not the first to do it. I wasn't trying to make that argument.
No, I wasn't saying that. And if she was, that's cool. If not, then I don't give a shit. But like but it's been around, so
right.
Why would people? I hate fucking people in the media because it's like, oh, let's get mesmerized by this thing that has existed for years, but we've never bothered to pay attention to.
And well, of course, it's existed for hundreds of years. I mean, you've seen that Pixar short where the two guys, the one-man bands, right? Have you seen that one?
I don't know.
Oh, it's really good. It's only like 2 or 3 minutes long. It's fantastic. You got the one guy who's got a drum in the front and a drum in the back, I think, and then you get the other guy who's got like an army of violins, and they're both trying to get they're both busking and trying to get this little girl to give the one little coin that she's got, and it doesn't go well.
Does she end up buying some cotton candy with it or something?
No. I'm not going to spoil it.
The 3-minute cartoon, thanks.
But in 1996, my band, at that time...
Brand X detergent?
At that time, just Brand X, I think.
No.
Listen
to, it's still up there, episode 16 and or 17, maybe?
Oh, yes, where we talk about those.
Actually, I don't know why I remember the number. Maybe because it was like we did... Well, I think we've informed.
We've said it at this point. Yeah,
I went to Seattle, and so we recorded 2 episodes in a row.
Yes, yeah. Well, so
it was probably the only time we didn't record that particular week.
Yeah, I think so.
When I had a show.
Yeah.
Or when we had a show.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck.
We almost this week were. I said. Well, we could do 2 last week instead of doing 1 on Saturday this week because I'll be gone tomorrow morning. At any rate, 1996. My band were playing on the town common in Chelmsford, just a stone's throw away from the town cock.
The town erection.
The town erection. Thank you. I was like, I knew there was not a town cock was not the.
It was a chicken.
It's just a chicken.
It's like the yokels.
There's one of those too. The yokels. Oh, nice
the yokels
pun.
that we are.
Punny.
Yeah, that we are in Chelmsford. That we worship a chicken.
Mm-hmm.
So you were actually playing at the town common?
We played at the common. It was a battle of the bands. It was like a high school battle of the bands. And I think just after us or just before us, somebody had one of those. Their rig had a repeating, some sort of repeater delay pedal thing. And it was awesome for like the first 30 seconds because somebody went up there and did like a, and it just went like that. Right, and then somebody went up and did a like for like the first couple times. Sorry, for the first couple times that somebody went up there was awesome, and it was like, oh, if you just stopped doing the repeat and somebody just like
started
sang over
singing
it or
a song,
or whatever, it would be awesome. But instead, people just kept going up there and adding to the repetition until it was just a big fucking wall of noise. That was one of our best shows. I mean, before that part.
Oh, I wish I wasn't such an asshole back then, and then maybe me and John could have gone to it.
It was after we'd recorded our demo tape, but sadly, and I think that we covered this in episode 16 or 17 or whenever that was.
I like how it was like a demo tape for you. For us, we just were like, let's record an album.
Let's record an album. Yeah, yeah. No, we called.
Oh, no one liked it. Let's do another one.
No, we called the demo tape "Never Forget," and it wasn't until like a month or 2 later that we wrote a song called "Never Forget."
Oh wait, no, I was wrong with the numbers. Sorry.
Was it?
It was 11 and 12.
11 and 12.
So you better hurry if you haven't listened to episodes 11 and 12.
They're gonna disappear from the feed, and at least until I figure out how to call or get in touch with Squarespace and say, hey, give me a feed that shows me all the goddamn episodes.
Yeah, because we want to be able to. People want to go back, listen to the annals.
Want to get back in time.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't know if this is one of the songs that was on there, but because I've played Huey Lewis on Rock Band recently, I gotta say this is a find. So my mom, a couple weekends ago we had this big family gathering, and one of the big hits was we had in the family room we had the Wii set up and we had Rock Band and people were rocking out to Rock Band.
Did you have the guitar and everything?
No, we have the microphone.
So just people were singing.
Yeah, and we had the keytar. Like, because when I got Rock Band, it was Rock Band 3, and the keytar was the thing that was out, and I went out and got the keytar.
I didn't know they had a keytar. I thought they had a piano.
Well, I mean, it's a keytar. Like
Can you sit it down and play it like a piano?
That's what people were doing that day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you could. It comes with a strap, but people were sitting down and playing it. So in the ensuing couple of days, I mentioned, the kids. There weren't as many things that they were into, but I know there was a Lego Rock Band, and I wonder if that would be any good. Well, my mom,
Lego Rock Band.
There wasn't the time, and my mom went out and one day, and she was out, and she stumbled into, of all places, is it a GameSpot? I don't know. There's a
GameStop.
GameStop. There's a GameStop in
shop at GameStop today for your favorite games and shit.
In Drum Hill in Chelmsford.
Yeah, GameStop has a corporate. I don't know. I don't want to say a policy, but they want to be near Walmart.
Oh,
like if there's a Walmart, they want a store nearby.
Interesting. Do you know why that is?
I think to get people to buy games that would go to Walmart instead of buying them at Walmart.
Got it. They had a cart with like 3 or 4 shelves of Wii games, many of which were priced at either 89 cents or $1.97.
Yeah, well, because
nobody wants to get Wii games anymore.
And no one wants Wii U games either. Sorry, Nintendo. At least Pokemon Go is going for you, right?
Or it did for that.
Hopefully the NX is awesome, and then we could get back to the days of Nintendo. I don't think we talked about it. The new little Nintendo system that's coming out.
Oh no, we didn't talk about that.
Do you know about it?
I've heard about it.
Okay, so it's like it looks like an old NES. Mm-hmm. The controller ports are actually kind of funny. They're not the same, so you can't, like, if you still have your NES, you can't use those particular controllers. But if you have the controller, which is like the Wii whatever controller, like
the one that would plug
Pro
into
to the bottom of the
that
remote.
Works?
So it looks like it basically looks like a Super Nintendo controller. Yeah. If you have that will work in the Nintendo system.
That's crazy because I do have that. Okay. I don't know why I bought it at one point, but yeah, I bought that one.
I have one too, so if I did buy this, it has like 30-something games or 60 or something like that, and then Sega was like, well, fuck you, Nintendo. We're gonna have one with 80 games.
Oh, that's fine. Well, I mean, Atari did that a couple of years ago, right? And it was all built into the joystick.
Yeah.
And it did it wirelessly. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I'm a sucker for older games.
I think it's... Oh, wait, no. It's 30 games and the price tag is $60.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, I don't know. If you have the virtual console...
You can get all those
You could
games
probably
too.
have all of them already. And if you do, this is sort of like a slap in the face to all the people that already purchased those.
That purchased them on the
virtual console, either on the Wii or the Wii U.
Yeah. Long story short, too late. I went back in the days after my mom had bought the Lego Rock Band because there still weren't that many songs that the kids knew, and I went back to that cart and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this a whirl. And me and the kids went back and bought, I think it was 6 discs for $10. So we got Karaoke Revolution and we got Glee Sing It. We got like all the goddamn singing games you could possibly imagine, which to me, it was only $10, which is why I did it. But going back to the person that we did those back-to-back episodes with, that we were talking about just a few minutes ago, was Dan.
Yes.
And my prior home karaoke experience had been at Dan's house, and Dan had a computer with like every fucking song you could possibly imagine, sometimes like 6 different versions of them. And there was part of me that was like, I don't know if this is the best way for me to satiate my kids and my desire to do karaoke is to buy all these rock band type games, or if I would be better suited just putting together a really cheap karaoke computer
and just having a microphone attached to it. I mean, it's not like you don't have 2 microphones.
Yeah.
Oh, you have that one that...
I don't have 2 turntables.
But the thing is, like, you could always just... I remember back in the day going to JJ Boomers in Lowell every Thursday night and doing karaoke.
Yeah.
From the years of like 2006 until like maybe when I moved to North Carolina, 2008.
Yeah. For a couple years.
Yeah, so we would go there a lot and do karaoke. But I remember there being sometimes there would be a family there that would have their kids do karaoke in between the hour, because like they were like, people under 18 get the boot at like 10 o'clock, or was it 9 o'clock? I don't remember, but but it was just weird to me. I'm like, you could do that, but I always thought it was weird that that you would have children at a bar. I mean, I understand, like, there are like places that are like pubs, which is short for public house, which is basically a place where people go to drink and gather and have meals and whatnot. And but like to take them to, and I'm sorry, JJ Boomers, if you're listening, to a divey fucking bar near a bowling alley.
Yeah, no, it's not a place that I would take my kids.
Like like that documentary I saw on pubs in Ireland, like the older style pubs, they don't even have televisions. They don't have a jukebox. They don't have any of this shit cluttering
no
up.
Here is there.
Yeah, just a if you want to hear a song, you sing it. Just without any musical accompaniment, you're just singing songs.
Yeah,
drinking
not even
beers.
like a piano. They don't have a piano in there.
Well, I don't know. A lot of them were smallish places, so I don't know if a piano would be easily filled into it. But
there's upright pianos.
But there was one that did have a piano in it. But it was just like I don't know, that's the kind of place that would be sort of better to take a kid. Because it's not all these fucking crazy distractions like we have nowadays, says old man Steve.
I don't even necessarily like to go out. I mean, we all know that I don't like to have fun.
I think you're getting better at it.
I'm getting a little bit better. But that's why I like the idea of being able to do it at home. The trouble is, and this didn't used to be a problem when the Wii was still an active platform and when all the Rock Band stores for the Wii were still open. Because what you used to be able to do, and what I almost did, except I didn't want to spend the money at the time, was you could get like Lego Rock Band and put it in, and you would be able to get a code that would then allow you to download all those Lego Rock Band songs down into your Rock Band 3 installation from the store. And you could do the same thing for the Green Day Rock Band and for the Beatles Rock Band. So you could get most of the songs all in one place. The only thing I don't like about this solution, and it's really just a minor thing, is that if I want to do a different set of songs, I got to swap a disc in, and I got to wait for the loading and the reloading.
Oh my God, Chris!
Oh my God! I don't know. We'll see. The kids were really excited about it, and then they did it for, I don't know, like 20 or 30 minutes before dinner that night, and then we haven't played with them since because we've been so busy getting ready for camping.
We're going camping, oh boy, oh boy.
My only vacation every year, and I get to go do one of my least favorite things in the world.
I'm right there with you, but I've never. One of the things, I've never actually had to camp, and I didn't use air quotes, and I should have. It's one of those things. A lot of people overuse air quotes, and I felt like I was going to do that. If I
don't
did
think
that.
you're an air quote abuser.
No, well, thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, I've never actually camped. I mean, like when I was younger, we would go up to what was it, Harbor Hill? I'm gonna have to look it up.
Harbor Hill
campground in
with like a camper, or
it would be like my dad had a pop-up camper.
Yeah, we had one of
when
those
I was
too.
growing up, and then we but that you're sleeping on basically a bed.
Yeah,
a bed. So
I mean, I should not say we are not roughing it by any stretch of the imagination when we're camping, and that I think is part of my disdain, disgust. Those are too strong of words, but like I almost would rather be roughing it because the amount of preparation, the amount of packing that goes into one of these camping trips for me just ends up being like, why are we even going out into the middle of the fucking wood? Like, we're bringing all of this food, we're bringing all of these things to do. Like, I remember, like, if I was going on a camping trip in Scouts, like, I had to fit everything I was going to bring with me in one fucking backpack, and my goddamn the like thin little foam mat I was going to lay on was strapped to the top of my backpack, and my sleeping bag was strapped to the bottom of my backpack, and that's all I brought. And so today I'm packing the fucking suitcase, and we're going to be gone for 5 nights, and so I packed 6 shirts. It's like, I'll pack 1 extra. I packed 6 pairs of underwear, 6 pairs of socks. My wife is like, is that all you're packing?
Yes.
That's all I'm fucking packing. Why do I need anything more than that?
Yeah, that's me when I'm going on it. Like when I went on that trip to Seattle, I had a carry-on.
Yeah.
Which was technically 2 carry-ons because I had the backpack too.
Yeah.
So I had my backpack, which I just had some stuff in. And then I had my carry-on, which was basically just what the equivalent amount of nights of shirts.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And I don't understand packing. I mean, but it's different depending on what you're going to be doing.
Right.
If you're going away for business or something, then you're going to have to bring work professional. Why can't I say that right now? Professional work attire.
Yes.
And then some stuff for when you get done with doing your work. So you're bringing twice as many clothes, and I understand that, but
Right. And to be fair, I have a tendency to underpack and I'm sure I've told this anecdote before. Sorry if you've heard it or if you remember it. But when I'm
not sorry. Fuck them.
When I went to New Orleans in 2004,
Nolans.
When I went to Nolans in 2004, my very first business trip, my very first sort of overnight business trip. There was one prior day trip to Burlington, Vermont. But my very first business trip, I go to Nolans and I have one carry-on bag, and all of my clothes for this 4 or 5 days I'm going to be gone are my business clothes. And I didn't pack anything casual. And I get off the plane, and I see my boss, and it's the first time I've ever seen him. I think he's in shorts and a t-shirt, because he's been to New Orleans. He's been there to scout the location and set all this up. And so he knows what fucking New Orleans is all about, and it is prepared. And I am in jeans and a button down, trying to be all professional. Not realizing we're not going to see anybody official. We're not going to be doing anything business related until the next goddamn day. So why couldn't I just, wear whatever? So I do have a tendency to underpack. My wife has every right to say to me, maybe you should think about packing a little bit more.
Maybe one or two more shirts.
Especially because there is a place to swim. I did not realize this. And when I go swimming, I refuse to take my shirt off. So if I'm going to go swimming, I need extra shirts for when I go swimming and get my shirt wet.
There you go. Okay, so I found their website, Harbor Hill. I was correct in saying it. It looks like I'm surprised it's mobile friendly kind of website. Family camping is our specialty. Located in the picturesque town of Meredith, New Hampshire, in the beautiful Lakes region, Harbor Hill's 55 wooded acres offer the ideal spot to relax, unwind, and enjoy quality family camping at its absolute best. We encourage our guests to make use of our anemones.
Our sea anemones. That's where Nemo and his dad live.
The playgrounds and sport court. I remember them being shitty. And refreshing swimming pool. Was there a swimming pool?
I don't know.
Jesus.
Was it refreshing?
I remember the rec hall, the large athletic field, or the relaxing comfort for your own wooded campsite. In the evening, a family gathering around your campfire will bring a perfect ending to your day under our quiet, starlit skies. We have a very clean restroom with private showers throughout the campground. Artisan well water.
Artisanal.
Artisan. Pardon. And we do our very best to provide our guests with peaceful surroundings. We are a short drive to all the lakes regions and White Mountains has to offer. We invite you to make Harbor Hill Camping Area your vacation home.
Harbor Hill.
So yeah, I remember going. They had a little
lovely place.
They had a little rec area that had a couple of arcade machines.
It's where you get wrecked.
I remember what game was that? It was like a fighting game.
Called Wreck-It Ralph?
No,
it's actually called Fix It Felix Jr.
Yes, they actually had that at what was it? What the fuck? The Pinball Wizard up in Pelham. They had a Fix It Felix machine.
That is interesting. I knew they had them in Florida and at various Disney places, but I did not know that you could get them elsewhere. I think that would be a fun game to play. Actually, I think there's something to Fix It Felix Jr. I wouldn't play Sugar Rush. I'm not a racing game guy.
All right, I think it was this fighting game called Time Killers.
Ooh, you kill time? You punch time in the face?
No, but it was just
when time is Sacha Baron Cohen. I think it's all right to punch him in the face.
Sure.
You see that movie?
No, I didn't. But okay, so Time Killers was Mortal Kombat came out in what was it?
Get over here.
1991, 1990, 91. I'm not bothering to look it up. So
like that.
I've been looking up too many things already.
Yes.
So I'm going to stop.
You do the talking, I'll do the research.
So Mortal Kombat came out around that time. So
Mortal Kombat.
like
don't.
The thing is, Street Fighter had already been out, and then but Street Fighter
Street Fighter sucked. I mean, let's be honest.
No. Street Fighter had this is where we're gonna butt heads here, because Street Fighter was actually a really good
Mortal
game.
Kombat first released October 8th, 1992.
Oh, 92. Well, shit. Time Killers was the same year. But the thing is, Street Fighter had good game mechanics. It had a move set that was you could do. It didn't have it wasn't. That's why Street Fighter, I think, it still sort of exists, or existed for a lot longer in a lot more iterations than Mortal Kombat did, at least in the arcade environment. Is that doing fighting games they did the X-Men versus Street Fighter,
right? Yeah,
and then went from that to Marvel, or Marvel versus Street Fighter, and just crazy I think Marvel versus Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 had this insane list of characters that there was in it. I think I have it on the PS3.
I was gonna say, was that a console, or was that
that one? But I think the last one that was in an arcade was Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which had one of the best menu screen songs / worst menu screen songs ever.
Yeah,
it was basically this woman going, "I'm gonna take you for a ride," and then that repeated over and over and over and over again until everybody's selected all 3 guys that you're going to use in the match. So 6 people need to be selected before you get started, and you have to listen to that woman.
That. Yep.
You should put that underneath this part if you want to do editing.
I don't want to.
Right before your vacation.
I gotta go be up at 7 tomorrow morning, or earlier, since I want to take a shower.
Your last good shower. But then Time Killers, I think was I forget whatever company fucking made it, but it was I mean, Mortal Kombat had better mechanics than Time Killers,
right?
But it was just I remember in Time Killers you could cut people's arms off, or they could cut people's heads off. You could win the match in a second if you cut their head off at the right moment.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Time Killers, November 1992, from Incredible Technologies.
Incredible
Technologies.
Yeah, it was. I did not like it. It was along the lines of whatever the fighting game with the dinosaurs was.
Oh,
I think they actually have
Belandia?
that. No, Belandia, no.
Samurai Showdown?
I remember Samurai Showdown was a difficult version of Street Fighter, that and King of Fighters.
Yeah.
But then there was lots of fun little jabs that SNK and Capcom were just fighting with each other, and then they eventually made a Capcom versus SNK game.
Oh, okay.
Because eventually all these corporate fights just turn into we can make more money working together.
Yeah, absolutely. Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny can show up together.
And Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
What's up, Doc?
I
heard he didn't like carrots.
Who? We're not doing that again. One of the things that I wish there was a movie like that would come out. I feel
like Wreck-It Ralph was the closest we've gotten to it.
No. Roger Rabbit, it was an original story. I mean, it was
based on something.
Based on a book, but the book was
original enough.
No, but the book was the fact that they said it was I mean, I guess the basic story it was there, but it wasn't.
They took liberties.
Yeah. And so I think it was called Who Censored Roger Rabbit was the book.
Oh, okay.
And then it was more based on cartoon strips, things that were in the newspaper and whatnot. So I mean, it was definitely a lot of changes were made in the film, but the thing is, a movie like that, just with the original idea, it's oh, what if we lived in a world where cartoons were actually real,
right? Yeah,
and there was just this odd world and dynamic that happened, and And it was great. It was set in in the 40s or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah.
Liquor was legal, so it was post-prohibition.
Yeah, and I think it was it post-war? Was it?
It was probably post-war.
Later 40s. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was pre-50s though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a good period piece. It had it was one of those great special effects movies.
Yeah.
I think it's still it's one of the Blu-rays that I have.
Yeah.
So I don't have a shit ton of Blu-rays, but the ones that I do have are movies that I really love.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is one of them. It's just it's one of those things the special effects still hold up.
Yeah.
Because they were using practical effects for practical thing. Well, they had to back then.
Right. Yeah.
Because it was 1988, 89.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when they had the cartoons holding guns, they just had a person that created this thing that was just this wire frame that was just walking around the set or whatever, holding a gun, and so the weasels would be holding it or whatever. And,
yeah. No, I agree with you. I think it's a good film. I've tried to show it to the kids. I maybe tried to show it to them too young.
Yeah,
I think Roger Rabbit hit us at the right time, and
because
as we've talked about, I'm 2 years older, or not quite 2 years, but you were what,
we were still in elementary school.
9,
I think
10.
I think John and I were maybe in third grade.
Yeah, that makes sense. Third or fourth, yeah.
Well, if we were all still in elementary school, we would have had to have been in third grade.
Yeah. Well, I want to say it came out in '89. I could be wrong, because when my family went to Disney World in '89, it was 1988. When we went in '89, Roger Rabbit was a huge thing at what was then called MGM Studios.
Ah.
Yeah. But I guess it was a year old by that point. And John and I got our picture taken.
With Jessica Rabbit?
Not with Jessica Rabbit. That would have been nice. Oh, my God. Well, I don't know. Could you...
It would have been Chris's first motorboat.
I was gonna say, could it be stroke material if it's a picture of you as a 12-year-old next to Jessica Rabbit? I mean, if I had that picture, like a year or two later, when I was first would I cover myself up because I wouldn't want to see me as a little kid, and I just want to see Jessica Rabbit?
You would just sit there and masturbate to a picture of you as a child. I don't think you should do that.
No, I think that's wrong. No matter if it's legal or illegal. I can't imagine.
I don't think it's illegal, but I don't think it's something you should do.
No, probably.
That's just me putting my judgy pants on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anybody out there that's masturbating to pictures of themselves when they were children,
probably not a good idea. And definitely don't admit.
I think that you might want to talk to somebody professional if you do that. But hopefully not get that to have. I can't have a thought. My hangover. I was doing so well.
Yeah.
But my hangover finally kicked in.
Now, when you put on your judgy pants, are they the same kind of pants that the judge out there in Minnesota or wherever that is wore?
Oh, look at you!
well. So there's hey, Robin, what's in the news? No. But there was some news this week relevant to things we have talked about on this program. The judge overseeing you remember.
No, I don't remember making a murderer.
I can't. I can't speak either. You remember Making a Murderer? You remember that little gem we saw on the Netflix?
It was around the holidays, and everybody was talking about it.
Well,
I can't hear a word they're saying. Only the echoes of my mind.
I don't know that.
You don't know? Everybody's talking.
No, I don't.
Theme from Midnight Cowboy.
Oh no, never seen Midnight Cowboy. Every week. That's got to be a new thing. When
there's me in my judgy pants again.
When there's a movie that Steve just assumes I have seen, and then I say I haven't, and you make that noise of ugh.
It's one of those ones that's a classic that I made a point of, not quite to the Patton Oswalt level of craziness. But I've tried to make a point to see movies like that.
Yeah. The judge, in that case,
Judge Joe Brown, Do you have the news story?
I had it somewhere. God damn it!
Did you close it?
I had it.
You closed it.
I don't, maybe I had it on my computer or something.
Oh.
At any rate, so Brendan Dassey, who was the younger, yeah,
what?
He was the younger guy. Everyone kind of felt for him because it seemed like he was coerced into confessing.
Seemed that way. You see the 4 hour. Well, we didn't get to see all 4 hours of the footage, but
yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Steve is Jesusing a photograph of Mr. Dassey. That says now that this is Making Murderer with Brendan Dassey's conviction overturned. No, I don't want this one. It's like, what's next for Stephen Avery? I don't care. I'm not talking about Stephen Avery right here. Let's see. Let's go to the CNN one.
CNN reporting.
Well, because the other option was New York Daily News, and I'm not sure.
That's a video.
Motherfucker. Okay, no. The conviction of Brendan Dassey, a Wisconsin man who appeared in the documentary Making a Murderer, has been overturned by a federal judge in Milwaukee, according to court documents obtained by CNN.
Cool.
Dassey was convicted in 2007 of murder for Dr. Teresa Halbach, so-and-so. So prosecutors have 90 days to put on their judgy pants.
No, they're going to be putting on their prosecutor pants.
The prosecutor pants.
The judge is going to be putting on his judge pants.
And they have 90 days to bring Dassey to trial again, or he will be released. I don't know. I don't know. It depends on what fucking article you read. I thought they had 90 days to either file a motion, which would give them more time, or something else.
It might be both.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no legal scholar, but judgy pants.
The courts, it was overturned on the fifth and one of the other amendments on those grounds.
The Fifth Amendment.
Yeah, pleading the fifth, which we always talk about as pleading the fifth, but it's like self-incrimination. So somewhere in there is something that the guy used. I'm trying to find. This is not the article I had. Let's see. The court's decision rests on a fundamental principle that is too often forgotten by courts and law enforcement officers. Interrogation tactics, which may not be coercive when used on adults, are coercive when used on juveniles, particularly young people like Brendan with disabilities.
Well, come on, his IQ was well over the certain amount that made it so he could. I don't know.
I don't know. In one of these damn articles I read today,
You were just sitting there reading Brendan Dassey articles all day?
No, I wasn't reading them all day, but I would read one and I'd think to bookmark it, and then I'd forget, and then I'd go, oh yeah, I got to bookmark that for the show, and then I'd forget, and as we just saw. But in one of them, I saw that the guy who his initial attorney, the one who basically
tried to get him to confess to the crime,
is now a judge somewhere in Wisconsin.
That fucking asshole.
It's just like, I can't.
That was his goal. Like, he didn't want to be an attorney anymore. He's like, I don't even want to. Like, let's take a plea bargain.
Yeah.
That's
Kaczynski, Len Kaczynski.
That guy sucked. Fucking shitty smile.
Does not mention it here. Oh, do you want that's an even sadder picture. Like he.
Ugh, Jesus Christ, Brendan Dassey didn't work out in prison at all.
No, not at all. Anyway, so Brendan Dassey.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
But the thing is, like, like I mean, if you haven't seen Making a Murderer to this point,
spoilers.
Spoilers. They're both in prison.
Brendan, maybe not for much longer, but
the thing is, like, I was one of those people that did my research afterwards,
right? Yep.
And kind of like, there was things that were left out of the documentary, not like crazy things,
right.
But I don't think that Steve Avery is necessarily a great guy.
No,
I don't think he's even a nice person.
Yeah.
But like his nephew maybe was just
wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, and he was just. and he was like quoting a book or like some movie that he saw. That's how like he came up with the story to tell the cops, I think.
Right. Yeah. It's anyway, so he it looks like there might be some progress on that front. I know they were going to make some new episodes of that series.
Are they doing it a different like they should do that like with what they did with Fargo?
Well, I thought you were going to say they should do what they did with Serial, and it's my understanding that the second season of Serial did not go all that well.
Well, it was interesting. Well, you know, what they did with. Well, the thing is, like, you know, you can't reinvent the wheel. You had this thing that was a great crime drama,
right?
And then what are you just gonna like do? Like Making the Murderer already did it.
Yeah.
Like they can't go and do it again,
right.
do the exact same thing again. So they did something that was, you know, different.
Mm-hmm.
I still enjoyed the second season of Serial, but it wasn't as gripping.
Yeah.
And it was sort of sporadic
mm-hmm.
When they would have episodes. That's why we always try to get you an episode every Monday.
An episode. I'll be in the middle of fucking Maine, but you'll get an episode.
Half of I'll be hungover. You know, I took a nap. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention because maybe I did mention it. Fuck, I don't even know.
That you took a nap? You did.
No, I did mention I took a nap, but then I did mention that Becky woke me up because if she hadn't woke me up, I'd probably still be in bed right now.
Still be in bed, yeah.
And then I'd wake up at like 9:00 and be like, oh fuck.
Like there's 6 texts from Chris here, yeah. Oh. But you woke up.
And we're here now.
And they have an episode.
And I've fallen apart, like, in the second half of the show. We're in the second half, right?
No, we got, like, 17 minutes left. No, I'm just kidding. No, we have, like, 3 minutes left.
Oh, thank God. Woo, we did it.
Yeah, no, I mean, so, like, if you fell over right now, there's enough show. I can't remember aside from the one show where, like, the recording got completely fucked up, I don't know what the shortest show we've ever done is, but I think once we hit the 50-minute mark, like 50, like 50, I think we're all good.
Yeah, I think that's good as well. Do we have anything on the list that we can talk about?
There were some other things, but none of them are like cover them in 3 minutes.
Oh, I got to talk. Like, I went out after work with some people on Thursday, and I was. Sidled up to the bar, and then I'm like, ooh, beach volleyball's on for the Olympics.
Beach volleyball.
And then I was like, oh, fuck, it's the men's. Womp, womp, womp. No, I'm not going to be staring at heinies now.
Yeah. Although there was a really interesting picture that came out this week of I think it was a woman on the Egyptian team. I could be wrong. And
why is it every time I hear the word Egyptian, I think of like the Jerky Boys and him going, "I'm the Egyptian magician."
I always think of the Bengals.
Oh. Walk like an Egyptian.
Yes.
Walk like an Egyptian magician.
But no, there was a picture. I think it was a woman on
I punch my chest and it disappears into the crowd.
Why am I trying to make a serious point and like 3 minutes left in the show? No, but there was a woman from the Egyptian team, and I think the other woman might have been the German team.
Oh, and another thing too, I get a jungle cat and I have it attack people in the crowd. No, continue.
This is relevant to the bikini, the beach volleyball thing. So they're playing beach volleyball, and there's a woman on the Egyptian team. On the other side, there's a woman from, I think, some sort of European team. The woman on the European team is in the standard issue bikini top, bikini bottoms. The woman on the Egyptian team is in a completely covering outfit. And she is wearing, I'm gonna get the term wrong. She's wearing a headscarf. She's wearing, which she is not necessarily required to wear, but she chose to wear. I discovered later. But I did not realize that until I want to say just a few years ago, they mandated that the uniform for beach volleyball for women was that bikini and like the like really tiny bikini bottoms. Like that, what you had to wear that. There was no other choice. until they decided to allow you to wear the full body thing, which allowed women like this woman from Egypt to participate in a sport that she apparently is pretty good at, based on the one photo I saw. She's allowed
was she spiking the ball really hard?
Well, it's the two of them are like same height. The ball, I can't remember who has the ball, but she looks like if she's not serving, she's about to defend. I don't know my volleyball terminology.
The ball. Defend the ball.
Defend the ball.
Doing the ball game.
Doing the ball thing. Yeah. No, but it was a cool picture, and that was one of many cool things this week that we don't have time to talk about. Lots of cool.
I hit customer
wins.
and I with saber.
Lots of cool wins for women and for black women in particular, but we don't have time.
Cool.
Yeah, I have had a grand old time watching the Olympics.
No, the thing is, like, we were talking about it because then we just because the Olympics were on, we had a little bit of discussion about the Olympics, and then apparently, like, the gymnastics team, like, they have to make sure that they you can't see their underwear underneath their leotards or whatever, but also they can't not wear underwear.
Oh,
they lose points for having visible lines of underwear, but they also lose points for like camel toe or something like that.
That's some of these things. Yeah.
And I'm like, you fucking assholes.
It's
and you know what baffles me? Like, I didn't realize this, but like south of the equator, it's winter right now. If you look at the temperature in Rio, I looked at it the other day. It was 70 degrees.
Well,
and it's been 90, fucking almost 100 all week here.
Oh my gosh, it's not. I was about to name the woman who's retired, but the famous American beach volleyball team. They were playing the other night, and when I realized what you just said was they were wearing like longer sleeve shirts underneath whatever sort of bikini tops they would normally wear.
Because it's cooler.
It was, it was a night match, and they were probably freezing.
Yeah, I mean, like like the climate in Brazil is probably equivalent to the climate of Florida in the winter.
Yeah.
But
that sounds right.
But it'll be like in the 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
But that's not great for that. That's why it was like Summer Olympics in a place that technically winter's happening.
Right. Well, and it's I guess they're probably doing it closer to the end of. They're trying to do it as close to spring for them as possible.
I did air quotes that time
for the same reason that, like, I think when it was in Australia, however many years ago that was, I think it was the same thing. It was later in the year than it would have been if it was a northern hemisphere game.
But if you look back to the Winter Olympics in Vancouver, like, they didn't have any fucking snow, and it was actually the winter.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean. There was some point you made that I was going to bring up.
Who cares? We're almost done.
Yeah, we are done.
We're coasting in. Let me just jam on the brakes.
Jam on the brakes. Lots of cool stuff at the Olympics, and I'm going to miss everything that happens this week because I'll be in the middle of the woods.
That'll be fine though. At least you can get away from some screens, like have some.
Nope, I gotta check in on my class on Monday and my online class on Monday and Thursday.
What, do you have to go to the public library and do that?
Well, I'll have my iPad and I'll have to use my phone's connection for Wi-Fi.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's great. I get to go on vacation and work at the same time. I love my job though, so it's all right.
Cool. You can find the show notes for this, blah, blah, blah.
You can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/107. That's 107.3 WAAF.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. No, then it'll be Kiss 108. Hot 107 is clarkwoods.com/hot/107 is where you'll find the show notes. If you have any comments on anything we've said this week, if you'd like to tell us where we can find better judgy pants for Steve.
Yes, or better hangover cures. I don't know. Whatever the fuck you want to talk to us about, please do.
Send that to hot@clarkwoods.com or send it via Twitter, where you can find us at ECC1977. That's me.
And I'm at Tuesday is Loser. That's Tuesday, IS Loser, all one word.
All one word. That's it.
All right. Well, have yourself a, hey, I'm the Egyptian magician.